Hello.
A
museum? History museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's that?
It's an old town.
Okay.
This is in Spanish, but the address is definitely in English.
Yeah, that's all good.
So you can go. Do you have a family?
2 kids, yeah.
Got them.
There you go.
There they are.
So what it's about 500 soldiers that marched from Iowa all the way here to San Diego.
Okay.
And it's their story and how they helped build up San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah. But so as missionaries, we get to serve there.
Okay.
And we also come out here and we teach people about...
What church are you from?
We're from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
Also known as Mormons. Have you heard of us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know all about Joseph Smith. I know all about I know the whole story about
Hey,
him.
that's good. He's so important.
He restored the church that Jesus Christ established again on this earth.
Okay.
So it's a big deal for us, and we'd love to share that with you and your family.
Okay.
So we're wondering if we can come by and visit you and teach you.
What are you going to teach me?
Teach you about this. Well, you know more. You know about Joseph Smith, right?
Yeah.
You can teach us too.
Yeah.
We'll all learn together.
Does that sound like
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. So do you read the Bible?
All the time.
That's good.
Yeah. Got it on my phone.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
have you ever read the Book of Mormon?
I got the Holy Bible, so I don't really need that, you know.
They work together.
But, I mean, God's word don't need to be strengthened by another book. He said the Bible. Joseph said he found some tablets and he wrote a book off of that. That one right there I'm not too sure about, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, and God never said the same thing twice. So he wouldn't have had to make 2 Bibles. It just never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, when we come by, we can share with you the importance of it. Because
All right.
neat. Well, do you know anyone else around here that
Just got to go
needs any
door to
help?
door.
We try not to do that.
Y'all,
Do you know anyone specifically that would actually listen and needs?
everybody should listen.
Yeah.
But like I say, one has been around for thousands of years and one has been around for a few hundred years. So it's like, how do you validate something that's built off of what was already here?
Yeah.
You know, that one there came from a man that was here. It's kind of hard to convince somebody out of, like it would be hard for me to convince you not to do that and to do what I do. You got some people around here that are atheists. You can't convince them of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so it all depends. But,
Yeah.
you know, somebody right and somebody wrong. Who knows? You know, maybe Mr. Smith was right. But
Yeah.
You
But
know,
the way
you
to
know.
know if anything's true or not is by praying. You can pray about it.
Yeah.
Is that how you got your testimony in the Bible?
Oh, yeah. Even if the Bible wasn't written, we was born knowing right from wrong. Some people choose not to listen to that little voice in their head or whatever it is.
That's true.
But we know when we do something wrong to somebody. Some people do it so long that it's numb and it doesn't bother them. Like they'll do something over and over again. But we know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We know. I'm just. How old is y'all religion now?
So I'm 18.
Well, it was restored. It was restored by Joseph Smith.
Okay.
So after Christ died, his authority and his teachings, it was lost.
When did they start letting like different races join?
That was allowed in the 1970s
It was actually 68.
or 60s.
Yeah,
It was
68.
around there.
That was-
They changed it, and I don't know the exact reason why it wasn't allowed.
I don't know either, but you
now
know that
That was
God
weird.
loves everyone.
I understand
and he wants
that.
everyone to
I was just wondering why they would just, if it was the word of God and God created everybody, why was certain people excluded from it? And not just black people, but dark-skinned people. There's a bunch of races with dark skin. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I was just wondering about that religion, and I'm just like, some stuff don't seem right. It seemed like it was man-made with man rules to satisfy a man. That's what it seemed like, you know.
Yeah.
That one doesn't kick me in the butt like the word of God does. And then the whole race thing, there was racial stuff going on in there. And then I know 2 Mormons who converted from that to Christianity, and it was like a cult kind of. They couldn't even get out of it. They had to go to another state and stay. It was pretty bad. You know the big church going out by La Jolla, the big giant one? We tried to go in there one day, and they wouldn't even let us in. It's like, I thought this was the Church of God. Okay.
Yeah, there's even some members that can't go in because they haven't, been living their lives to the expectation. So it's just more that we believe that it's the house of the Lord here on the earth, and that we need to be clean and just be living up to that standard.
And who
of being
determines
obedient.
who's clean and not, though? Because all men fall short.
Yes, they do.
On the street. So I'm just saying, who ordained themselves high enough that they could go in and stop us from coming in until we've proven ourselves to them. Because that's really what we're proving ourselves to man.
Well, we're proving ourselves to God, and we believe it's
Well,
the
we already
ancient
proven ourselves to
temples.
God. He sent His Son down here to die for us. So it seems like we're proving ourselves to man now. Like we're concerned about what man
What
has to
if,
say. Because if Jesus came down right now, He would just open up the world for all of us to just come on in. He's not worried about that building and what it's made out of and who built it, because the people who built it are probably not saved. They probably didn't hire a saved construction company before they poured the foundation down. Jesus preached on a mountain, a dirty mountain.
Yeah.
He was baptized in a dirty river. The Bible is good enough. I believe that. I could be wrong, but it's just, there's a lot of stuff that go on with y'all religion that I was just like, this don't seem right.
Well,
And I admire how y'all are diehard and dedicated to it, but that doesn't line up with the Word of God. I was just looking at certain things and just how the whole book came about. It's just like it was more of a cult in the beginning than praise and worship. I mean, we're talking about a guy who broke all the rules and rewrote some things in the Bible so it could suit him. God said one wife, Joseph, I want 8 or 9. You know, he's twisting up some stuff, and it didn't make no sense to me. Not to knock what y'all do and do what you do.
No, you're fine.
Y'all do that, but it's just a lot of stuff that don't line up. Like, do they allow y'all to read the Bible?
oh yeah, we read
100% believe in the
So
Bible.
why do you need the other book then that came 400 years ago? Like, what's the purpose of a new book? God already said it.
Not new. What the Book of Mormon is, and it's easiest
It's new compared to
explain
the
it from
Bible.
it.
Very
It
new.
wasn't written like new. It was translated recently and brought to us recently, but it's actually a record of the people who lived in America, a tribe of Israel.
The most wicked country of all.
But it wasn't
America.
originally. I mean, the Native Americans came from somewhere, but the people who lived in America were a tribe of Israel that left before Jerusalem was taken over by Babylon. They were led away by Heavenly Father because they were righteous. So He took them and brought them to America, and this is their dealings with Christ. So it's just another testament. It adds to the Bible. It's not different. It doesn't take away.
But God said in the Bible, my word is final.
His word is final.
That was it.
But there was more written after He said that in the Bible.
But did God say it? Because God doesn't go back after He says
No.
something. So it was like we started adding new things to it. Like, when did God change His mind about how many wives we could have? And, you know, what race could join religions? And I mean, when did God change His mind about that? I'm just wondering. Like,
Yeah.
it seems
That's
like
a valid question.
the Bible kicks man in the butt. So what we do is we'll say, oh, I like this and I like that about the Bible. Let me take that and let me start my own thing up and let me add to it. And that seems like what happened. Joseph said that he found the gold tablets and it was written in a special code that only he could read. God don't trick you with codes.
No.
No.
It was actually
in ancient Egyptian.
It was in ancient Egyptian
Yes.
in the ground, and no one got to see it but him.
Well, actually, there are other witnesses who did
What happened
get
to 'em?
see it. Their testimony is actually at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. Because God knew, like, who's going to believe that one guy did all, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
He knew.
but I'm just saying, like, why did Jesus die for us if God's work wasn't finished? You know, like, we got Moses, we got all these people, we know the rules. God doesn't keep coming back trying to convince us. It's final. Jesus died for us already. It doesn't need to be any more written.
So, what do you think Jesus' purpose was when He came to the earth? Just
When
to
He
die?
came to the earth, it wasn't just to die. I mean, He taught us.
Yeah.
It was to teach us.
And we believe that also, that He taught us, He set an example, and He also set up His church how He wanted it, with the authority of God.
I'm just telling you straight up. Like, I believe that Joseph Smith did read the Bible. I believe that he knew the Bible. I believe that he didn't want to live fully by the Bible, and that he wanted to write his own and start up his own thing. And so a lot of people in your religion don't realize it, but they're worshiping him. Trust me, I have asked, if you had a chance to die and meet Jesus first or Joseph A. Smith first, who would you want to meet? Well, I would want to meet Joseph first. He's done so much for this is what she said.
That's kind of
I'm just
silly
saying,
of her.
in any other religion, an elder is someone who has been in there forever and ever, they're seasoned. But with y'all, they send out like these young girls and these young boys, and they call themselves elders, and they get upset when people start questioning them. Nobody's trying to go against the grain with y'all. They're just trying to see, why isn't the Bible good enough for y'all? Why isn't just... That's what people are trying to see. Like, a lot of people would join y'all if they felt like that was the true way to go. Like, this world is in bad shape right now. People are trying to find answers.
Exactly.
And a lot of y'all young elders can't answer the questions. Especially when you get that old lady who's been going to church for 80 years. And she starts popping off questions to y'all. Y'all like, you know? Yeah, that's... They should send out... It should be 70-year-old Mormons knocking on the door, not the young ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Jeff, like you said, we don't know everything, and we're not here to argue with you.
No,
We don't
I'm
want to
not
argue with you.
I'm talking I'm just telling you. I'm telling y'all what I have seen.
Yeah,
But you're right, we don't have the answers. Like, honestly, I can tell you right now why polygamy was a big practice. I don't
Sit
know
down.
everything. I probably don't even know as much history as you know.
But shouldn't you?
I should. Like, I know history, but it sounds like you've really researched it. You've really talked to people, and I think that's great. But we're not
I
here to
should,
just tell you information.
Right.
We'd like to let you know what we believe as a church. We'd like to share that with you and then let you know. Like,
Right.
have you figure out for yourself whether or not it's true.
I just asked one simple question.
Yes.
Why isn't the Bible good enough?
The Book of Mormon never contradicts the Bible. It only adds to it. It only adds truth.
But God's word doesn't need anything added to it, though. The reason the Bible is missing stuff is because when it was translated, if you notice in the Bible, it's called the book of this, the book of that. These were books, like big.
Yeah.
Two of the most important people in the whole Bible, you read like 1.5 pages of them. And that's it, Adam and Eve. Okay, they had 2 sons. One son killed the other son. And then he got kicked out and when he got married. To who? Who did he get married to? The Bible just said Adam and Eve was the first 2 people. And they had 2 sons.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So we can't say, oh, because it's not in there, it doesn't exist. Just because you believe something don't make it true. And just because something you don't believe in doesn't make it false. I'm just asking questions that a lot of people don't seem
That's a valid question.
to have the answers to. And I'm thinking that the Bible is sufficient enough, because even if it's missing a lot of stuff, it's enough in there to guide us without
does guide
any
us.
other... What's the
But
point of that
Heavenly
then?
Father loves us so much, He doesn't want us to be missing things.
That's why Jesus died for us.
Yes, so that we can be forgiven, that He can help us. But part of that
But
is
you don't
He wants
need
us
that
to know
to
the
do that.
truth. Have you read it?
Have I read that?
Yeah.
I'm never going to read that. No.
Never?
No, why would I want to read that?
How can you know
Because I have
it's
the
true?
Bible. Because I have the Bible. And in the name of Jesus runs them off. Not in the name of Joseph A. Smith or in the name of whatever else y'all doing.
We're not here to argue.
I'm not
but
arguing
I
with
just wanted
you.
to let you know.
Why do y'all keep saying argue though? But I'm not even
We
raising
just
my
want you
voice.
to
We just want you to know we're not trying to argue.
But we're not arguing.
Yeah.
I'm asking y'all questions that I have seen people ask y'all, and y'all can't answer.
Well, your question about why not just the Bible is because when Jesus Christ came to the earth and brought His church here, it was lost. And after centuries of darkness, He called His prophet Joseph Smith, who didn't anticipate being a prophet, didn't really feel adequate enough to do it, but he was God's tool in bringing back and restoring that exact same church that Jesus Christ had. We worship Jesus Christ and only Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father. We don't worship Joseph
And
Smith.
this is what y'all say Jesus looked like, right?
That's a depiction of Him.
But this is what y'all... So what does the Book of Mormon say He looks like? I just want to ask you a question, because the time and the region that He was born in and the woman that He was born from, that's not what the Bible said He looked like.
Actually, there's an interesting story about that. But is that alright if I share it with you?
Yes,
It's not
I
in
would
the
love to
book
hear
of
it, but I want to ask you about Revelations. It asks you in Revelations, also tells you in Genesis what He looks like.
Yeah.
But a lot of people miss that. So I want to ask you, what does hair of lamb's wool look like?
Dark.
Kind of like that texture right there. Okay, skin of burned brass. What color is that? It's not a racist thing. I'm just saying. People say, well, what difference does it matter what color he is? Why did we change the color of him if it didn't matter? I'm just saying. Some people will say it don't matter, but God thought it mattered enough. It's in the Bible what color Jesus is. It tells you what His feet look like, His hands look like, His skin tone, His hair, what the other people look like. They had dreadlocks and all kind of nappy looking stuff. So I'm just saying, does it tell in there anything different than what the Bible says?
No.
So, does that go along with what the Bible says?
Yes.
So why wasn't people of Jesus' color allowed into your religion?
They are.
They are
This is-
now.
this is
They
the
are
interesting
now.
thing.
They are now.
Just this is the history that I know, and we can argue history, but I don't
I'm
want
not
to.
gonna argue history
I'm going
with
to tell
you.
you the history I know. That originally, when the church was first set up, there were people of color who were endowed, who went through the temple, who were baptized, and it actually wasn't until after Joseph had after he'd been murdered, that it was changed. And I can't tell you exactly why it was changed, but I do know, like I could research it, but I do know that originally,
Because people are going to ask you that.
originally, people of color were in the church.
Could you show me that?
In here, this isn't about our
Could
time.
you show me that anywhere?
That they were?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can bring it.
Because I work with a lot of Mormons. That's why,
I actually, because I got asked that question once, which is why
You should already know the
A
answer
little bit.
then.
I looked
I'm
it
gonna
up
let
and I
you
looked up
research
when.
it.
And I will. And I'll bring it to you if it's okay if we can come back.
Yes. I mean, y'all think I'm arguing, but I'm
No.
not arguing with you.
You have great questions.
It's like this. You say you don't know a lot of things. So if your car broke down and you came to my mechanic shop and I told you, well, I don't know everything about your engine, are you going to let me work on your car? No, you shouldn't.
Well, I'm
So
just
when
gonna
someone
say,
tells you-
well, if I were to come up to you as a 19-year-old and say, I know everything,
No.
there's no way
You
that's
listen to what I'm
true.
saying. You should know everything about what you're trying to tell someone. Like, if I was going to make you a jacket, I would know everything about the fabric, the machine used. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be complicated right now. You should know everything about what you're trying to talk to somebody about. If you only know 2 pages of that book, let them know, hey, I just want to talk to you about these 2 pages. But you pull out the whole book and you don't know everything in the whole book. You shouldn't do that. This is not for me. I'm not down to y'all. I'm not trying to knock you. I'm just saying you're going to run up on a lot of Christians. It's going to be hard to convert them over to being a Mormon because they feel that one Bible is good enough. God already gave Moses all the rules. He gave us the rule book. Is that same rule book in there? The commandments, the 10 commandments, is it in
They
there?
are in there.
So what I'm saying is Joseph took some things. But for him to take the 10 commandments and not live by them is kind of weird. I can see how you was doing crazy stuff before God came to you and gave you the tablets and taught you all that. But he continued to do crazy stuff. He continued. They don't tell y'all about it. He's got a bunch of kids out of wedlock and a bunch of wives drinking all the time. Research it. I'm not making this up.
We believe
Okay,
you.
there you go. So I'm not just some guy wants to argue
No,
with y'all
we
and debate
know.
with y'all. And you shouldn't show up with a limited amount of time to talk to someone. What if I was willing to buy into that? Y'all would have had 4 hours to talk to me. So you should have set time for the people who are going to be hard to buy into the system and those who, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I ever heard. Tell me more. Y'all would stay here till the sun come down. Ain't that worth saving somebody's soul, staying a little later than your schedule?
It is, and that's why we like to talk to people and see if they do want to learn more so that we can come
But
back.
you should learn more before you talk to them.
Okay.
You should. I'm
We're
just saying.
imperfect and inadequate, but because of Jesus Christ,
I understand.
we can
that.
do it.
Because of Jesus Christ, we don't need that book.
Okay, will you say that before you read it? Our invitation is
You're
for
asking
people to
for
read it.
us. I've read that book. I've read on history. Not the same history that you've read, is what I'm saying. I haven't read anything that says that about Joseph Smith.
They don't want y'all to know all of that about him, but there are some people that know. They didn't warn us they was going to take everybody's houses from them. They didn't tell us that. People know certain things, but they want to keep you dumb to a certain amount of that knowledge. The real elders in the Mormonism, they don't want y'all to know what they know. They want you to feel like you have to work your way up to that.
No.
You just told me that you just can't walk into that temple. You have to basically earn your way into that temple. Why not let someone in there to see it? Now they have an incentive to work towards it.
Because it's all on faith.
It's
believe
well,
that
then you
can
don't need a
ask
building.
God
You don't need a building.
Any question that you have, you can seek wisdom from Him.
I've done that, and that's not the way to go.
Okay.
Well, I have prayed about the Book of Mormon and about Jesus Christ Church, and I know that what I'm doing is true and that it's right.
You feel that what you're doing is true.
I know.
You just told me earlier you don't know everything.
I don't know everything,
Well, that would be one of the things.
but I know that what I'm doing is right.
Okay.
And I know that Jesus Christ Church is back. That the Bible is true and that the Book of Mormon is
Okay.
true. And above everything else, I know that Jesus Christ is the Savior and the Redeemer of the
I
world.
believe that.
And that He
And
loves
there's no
you.
need for that.
And He loves your family.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's what we're here sharing, is how it can bless
Well, then you
us.
should just share the word and don't even worry about that, because that's not the word. But y'all get a little upset when someone starts questioning y'all, but it's y'all job to walk around and talk to people who are going to question y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I don't understand that. It's kind of like